you hear me?
I read you 5.
Yep, me too. Okay, and then shader panel. Everything is good, and this one we don't have bit of heat, so that's good. Amp and voltmeters. Volts we are good, and amps as well, in both in the green. PFD and radio setup. So should we're going to go to Namur.
Yes.
We're going on 6, so I'll leave it here. I bug on the 6 just to. What is the exact orientation? Do you know?
Of the runway here?
Yeah.
244, so 064.
Yeah. I'll put it here, just hoping we can go direct. Altitude. What do we put? 1500, 2000?
2000 initially, yep. That's what we expect.
Good, and for PFD we're good, and the radios. So what do we have here? That's 805, is it ground or tower?
That's the ground. Yeah.
That's ground. So tower, and we have the ATIS here, so we're set up. Seat belts.
Oh, that one's yours.
Yep, thank you.
And mine is hiding there.
Bonjour, Ryanair 6 Kilo Papa, vacating the runway on Mike 5.
6 Kilo Papa, Shora, continue straight ahead, Mike 5, stand 5-6.
Continue straight ahead to stand 5-6, Ryanair 6 Kilo Papa.
Closed and latched, transponder on alt, let's put 7,000.
2000 for controlled VFR. 7000 is uncontrolled VFR, yeah. Which we will switch to at Namur.
Taxi ici, dégagez au bord du BTI. Laissez bien reçu, à tout à l'heure.
ATIS, let's go and listen to the ATIS.
55, wind, 060 degrees, 5 knots, variable between 350 and 090 degrees. Cov OK, temperature 9er, dew point -1, QNH 1028, no sig. Confirm information, Romeo, on first contact. Charleroi information, Romeo, 1555. Expect vectoring for RNP approach. Runway 06 for arrivals and departures. Runway surface condition at 1430. Dry. Runway condition code 666. Transition level 55. Wind 060 okay. Degrees, 5 knots.
So we're good, Romeo, and we'll ask for clearance. So I'm still a bit new at that. So
sure, you can try with me first.
Yep. I'll say, just start saying hello. So Charleroi ground, Oscar Oscar, Whiskey Hotel Yankee, bonjour. I wait for them to respond. Then I say we are, I guess it's Sierra 4 here?
Platform 4.
Platform 4, okay. Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee is at platform 4. Oh, I'm already lost now. So 1 second, I'll first think about it.
Who am I? Where am I? What do I want?
So
bonjour, Ryanair Kilo Tango vacating November 5.
And so we're requesting taxi instructions.
November 5, right on November. Just on Mike 6, straight ahead, stand 6.
Which one is the volume?
Mike 6.
For the radio would be this one?
Ryanair Kilo Tango.
For each radio has its own volume on the top left, yeah.
So Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee is at platform 4. Request taxi instruction with Romeo. Request taxi instructions for. In this case, it's not a local flight. What are we requesting?
We can request a local flight because we are not doing a full stop in Namur.
So for local flight, duration 1 hour. And that's it, right? What else?
Yeah, and request departure via Point Echo.
Okay. That's what you're asking to go straight.
It's a bit non-standard. Yeah.
Request departure.
If you want, I can negotiate it instead.
Oh, I'll try.
All right.
Maybe.
Hello again,
maybe depending on their response, you
just point at me and
I'll be like
200 QNH 1027 request push and start.
That's good. Okay.
All right.
Ryanair 609er Alpha from stand 59, pushback to approve facing west.
Pushback is approved facing west from stand 59, Ryanair 609er Alpha.
Charleroi ground, Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, bonjour.
I think that's,
Except for
the
push stop.
autopilot disconnect button.
Again?
That's good.
That is here.
I could have been waiting for quite some time.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so that's good. Okay. Nobody talking. Charleroi ground, Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, bonjour.
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, Charles, hello.
Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee is at platform 4 with information Romeo, requesting taxi instructions for local flight duration 1 hour, leaving via Echo. Oh, Echo.
Standby.
He will check.
What did he say?
Standby.
Did he say standby? Okay.
What is this warning?
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, go ahead.
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, make it to Sierra Echo initially, and you can request when airborne if you wish to proceed directly to Echo. Can taxi to Sierra 1 for the run-up, QNH 1028.
Sierra Echo initially, Wilco, and taxi to Sierra 1, QNH 1028, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
Okay.
Alright.
So we have a possibility. But, okay.
He informed the tower, so
Yeah.
I think that's what he did there.
Yeah.
He told the guy, is it okay if, yeah, okay.
Okay. Good. Okay. Well, I think we're good to go. Clearance and lights on as required. I think we're fine with lights. Landing light, we'll do that there. Okay. Let's go. So we'll go to Sierra 1, huh?
Check.
He ended up not flying, I guess.
Yeah, seems like it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, brake check, my side.
I have the brakes. Brakes checked, you have controls.
Okay, so... Oh, I forgot to take my glasses, they're in my bag.
If you want, I can take the controls. I have controls.
Go. I'll let you turn and I'll...
Sure. I'll just accept these while we wait.
Okay.
Alright, ready?
We're turning, yep.
You have controls?
I have the controls, yeah.
Yeah.
Right in our face.
I don't know if you have a preference for what you want these to be set up as.
Right, 7 Victor, Cherry Charles Grand, hello. Right
guess
on
here it's
November,
like a map.
Mike 6, stand 65.
Right November, Mike 665, naar 78 chat.
Let's focus on driving.
Stay firm.
See, ground speed.
Yeah, I'll just put 2 maps.
12 knots. There's one that's going to land there.
Check.
Yeah, no, I don't have that much preference yet.
Alright.
What would you do?
Yeah, 2 maps is fine. Probably.
Going a bit fast.
This one is north up, so that's like that, and then this guy can be something like that.
Almost looks static. It's like,
When they're flying straight towards you.
going too fast, 21 knots. Brake a bit.
Check.
Charleroi Grand, good evening, Foxtrot Hotel Uniform, Romeo Tango.
Foxtrot Hotel Uniform Romeo Tango, Grande, bonjour.
Bonjour, at the fuel station for
That's
taxi
the
to the
aerobatics.
Ah, it is.
Foxtrot Romeo Tango, taxi to the hangar approved.
Taxi approved, thank you.
Charleroi Grand, good afternoon, Fox Golf Uniform Papa Mike, with information Papa.
Foxtrot
Foxtrot Golf Uniform Papa Mike, Grand bonjour. Information
Romeo.
Sierra is now valid.
Sierra.
No major changes from Papa. Go ahead.
Okay, Foxtrot Uniform Papa Mike at Papa 4, request VFR flight, local VFR flight via Maubeuge and request taxi.
Foxtrot Papa Mike, we have a flight plan with destination Maubeuge, confirmed?
Yeah, I confirm. I made two flight plan, one go to Maubeuge and then the return to Charleroi.
Foxtrot Papa Mike, Roger, what will be your exit point?
So we're going to turn
Exit
around.
point to Sierra Echo, Fox Papa Mike.
Foxtrot Papa Mike, Roger, taxi to Sierra 1, holding point runway 06, QNH 1027.
Taxi to Sierra 1, QNH 1027, Fox Golf Uniform Papa Mike.
The winds, yeah, just like this.
32 Romeo Quebec, runway vacated on November.
To station calling.
Ryan 32 Romeo Quebec, runway vacated at November.
Ryanair 32 Romeo Quebec, hello, taxi to
Let's go for the run-up.
station 2
So
via
nose wheel
Mike
is
6
straight,
Hotel.
parking brake
Mike
is
6
set,
Hotel, stand
throttle
62,
1200,
Quebec, Romeo Quebec.
yes, fuel selector, I'll
6099,
change to the right one,
Ryanair 609 Alpha, taxi via Mike 5,
throttle 2000,
taxiway
so
November
feet
to
on the
Number
brakes,
Bravo,
in
holding
case.
point runway 06, QNH 1027.
QNH 1027, we taxi Mike 5 November, holding point November Bravo, runway 06, Ryanair 6099.
I think they said QNH 1027, should we change?
Sure.
Yeah.
If,
I believe I heard that.
Yeah, we can cross check with the
Yep.
ATIS if we're not sure.
Carburetor heater checked, so let's carb heat, we are 2010. Goes down,
Okay. Temperature 9er,
doesn't go up.
dew point -0, QNH 1027. No signal.
I don't know, I heard it like,
Yeah.
I wasn't really listening,
It's
but I
good.
heard what?
Situational awareness
Yeah.
is good.
Carburetor is okay, magneto check. Let's go on the left, so 2020. So 100, let's go back. 20, now on the right one. There's a difference of 30. It's all good.
Bonjour, Ryanair 41, Quebec, November,
uh,
vacating November 6.
Ryanair
Engine
41 Quebec
instruments,
November ground, hello,
everything
taxi
is
to
green.
stand 58
That's
via
good.
Mike 6
Lamps and
Hotel.
volts still green,
Mike 6
we're
Hotel,
good.
stand 58,
We'll
Ryanair
go to
5,
idle.
4 Quebec, November.
See if it's
Oscar Hotel
volts.
Yankee, when do you think you'll be ready?
Oscar Hotel Yankee, 3 minutes.
Roger. Foxtrot Papa Mike, can you accept Sierra 2?
Firm.
Okay, let's continue.
Foxtrot Papa Mike, taxi to Sierra 2.
1200 back.
Taxi to Sierra 2,
Hotel.
Papa Mike.
Magnetos, we are back on both. Mixture is rich, carb heat is off. Flight instruments are checked, so I did see that this one was
Ryanair
sync.
609er
It's level.
Alpha, fully ready, able
What
November 3.
other instrument would we have to check?
Ryanair 609 Alpha, Roger, Tower 12130, au revoir.
Flaps.
Tower
So we're going
1205,
without
Ryanair
flaps,
609
take
Alpha,
off.
bon après-midi.
We can
Excellent.
use as you wish. Long runway, so flaps
Yeah.
up is fine.
Flaps up.
But you do want to check them regardless, of course.
Oscar Hotel Yankee, check QNH 1027.
QNH 1027, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee. 1, 2, 3. Good. Flaps and trim, so we are a bit here. Neutral. Flight control. So going up on the right side.
Foxtrot Papa Mike, when ready, Tower 12130, au revoir.
All good.
One ready tower, 11305 at
That's
Stella,
this one
Fox
there.
Papa.
Okay. Flight control, if you're in check, door and window, it's closed and latched. Good. Primary flight display, we had set it up. The fuel pump, we will turn it on. And so takeoff briefing. So we're going to go to Namur to perform some touch and goes. We are on runway 06. We have requested to straight out, but we'll go, was it Sierra Echo
Initially
first?
Sierra Echo, yeah.
And we can, we have to ask them.
We will request in the air,
Yep,
yeah.
okay.
They probably just want us out of the way for the missed
Yeah.
approaches
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then direct.
Then
say
okay,
direct
tuk,
roll.
tuk. Okay, so we'll be doing some pattern work and then come back here at the end of the session. That's for normal. In case of emergency, so if we have any issues while we are still on the ground, we reduce the throttle, brake, and exit the runway. If we're already airborne, but there's enough runway length, first is going or putting the nose down, keeping the speed so that we don't stall.
What is this?
Of,
This is yours?
No. Kind of iPad mount thing.
Yeah.
So yep, we go back on the ground, and the important is keeping the speed so that we don't stall, touchdown, and exit the runway. If we're airborne and there's not enough space left on the runway, first reflex is nose down to keep the speed. Identify within roughly 30 degrees a zone. I think in this sense, there's probably on the left,
On
think,
the left
of it.
side,
yeah. Fields there.
Fields in this area.
So that's what we will likely be looking at. Obviously, if it's a minor thing, we just do a pattern and come back to land. But this was more in the case of a major emergency, losing engine or things like that. I think that's it.
All right.
Yep.
In case of real emergency, I may take over.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. I think it's good to have it briefed. Okay, we're run up complete.
All right.
We'll go back. They did well in going to Sierra 2 than they were before us.
Yeah, controller saw that ahead.
Is it okay if I turn my landing light already on now, because I tend to forget it? So here I call them back and I just tell them we are at Sierra 1, holding point runway 06, ready for departure.
Correct.
Do I call them with their call sign? No, because
you're already on the frequency, yeah.
And I end with mine.
No, so here you're addressing them, so so that they know who's talking. You start with it. Yeah.
Nobody's talking. Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee at Sierra 1, holding point runway 06, ready for departure.
Oscar Hotel Yankee, contact tower 121.305.
Tower 121.305, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, thank you. No, that's... Okay, let's wait to see if anyone is calling. Do we see any landing? I don't see. Okay. So, Charleroi Tower, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, bonjour. I wait, and then I tell him the same thing at Sierra 1.
Runner 6090 Alpha identified. Contact departure 126.630. Bye-bye.
Departure 126630, Ryanair 609 Alpha. Bye-bye.
Ryanair 902 Delta, wind 040.6 knots. Runway 06, clear to land, to vacate November 6.
All right.
Land 06, vacate November 6, Ryanair.
Okay. That's Charleroi Tower. Charleroi Tower, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, bonjour.
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, Charleroi Tower, bonjour, hold position, traffic on final.
Hold position, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee. You already knew where we were. No surprise, we want to go.
Indeed.
You see it?
No, I think the trees are hiding it a little bit. Or it's too far out still. I would have told them ready for immediate, but actually we can't because the Ryanair just took off, so we need 2 minutes anyways.
But you wouldn't have responded that, or because I just said hello and then he directly told me hold position?
I would have started with my at the beginning initially. Yeah.
Okay, so at once you don't just say hello and wait.
Depends how busy the frequency is, of course.
Okay,
so if the frequency is quite busy, then you don't want to waste time by saying hello.
Yeah.
You know that they're there. The whole point of the hello is just to see if they have on the ground, to see if they have time for you. But if you're in the air or on a flight frequency, if you hear it's active, then you just go straight with your message.
Okay.
Because otherwise you would be doubling the number of transmissions
Yeah.
if everybody was checking in.
Sure.
But the hello is more like, if you go to Floren now, you'll have to start with a hello, because if you start with your message, you're going to have a pause of like 6-7 seconds while the guy puts down his coffee and goes back to his table.
Do I want to work with him?
And then he gets to his microphone, but he didn't remember what you said, so he'll say, say again. So if you really hear like nothing, then you can try to raise them with a hello. But if you hear it's active, then you can give directly your message.
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, line up and wait runway 06, move forward to the display threshold.
Line up and wait 06, move forward to the display threshold, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
Alright.
Foxtrot to Papa Mike, airborne time 10, frequency channel approved, bon vol.
Bye-bye, thank you.
So you can do your lineup checks.
Again?
You can do your lineup checks now.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what.
It's quite easy. Everything on.
Yep.
Pitot heat is optional, of course. My philosophy is to put it on.
Okay.
A, it gets rid of that.
Yeah.
So you're not used to flying with a warning message.
The warning, okay.
And B, the day where you actually need it, you'll have the habit of just putting it on always.
Okay.
So
There's no downside in turning it on.
Voila.
Okay.
The only risk is that you forget to switch it off after landing, where it can overheat on the ground.
Okay.
But in the air, it has airflow, so it's fine.
Good to know.
All right.
Runner 902 Delta to the left, November 6, continue, Mike 6, Hotel, stand 63.
November 6,
So we go
Mike 6,
to the
Hotel, stand 63, runner 60.
Do we like pass it or we wait before?
You can
Monitor
just
round 1 to
cross it and
1
leave it behind.
805, bye-bye.
So,
You know why?
805, runner 902 Delta, speak to you soon.
Wake turbulence. If we take off where he was still flying, then we might hit wake turbulence.
Yes.
So if he cleared us, he could clear us from
Oscar
there.
Whiskey Hotel Yankee, direct number approved, wind 040 degrees 5 knots, runway 06, clear for takeoff.
Clear takeoff 06, direct Namur approved. Thank you, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee. Voila. So just straight out.
65 knots, huh?
Hand on the throttle. Yes. So engine instruments green.
Green. Airspeed is alive. Waiting for 65. And there we are. Searching for 79. And we go direct. That's good.
Easy.
Yeah. Here you have the confirmation that they indeed talk to each other, because we didn't ask.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
So here, if ever you're curious, the options for the landing here on the left.
Yep.
If you're a bit higher, over there on the right. But anyways, there's more options on the left.
Yeah,
so.
It's before the houses or after.
Yeah.
Takeoff altitude.
Okay.
And we can keep 79 knots for best rate.
Go back to 64. Did we ask an altitude? No, huh? We didn't.
No.
Okay.
Well, we can take 2000.
Yep. It's very smooth.
Yeah, today is fantastic.
Yep.
All right, I'll let you do your after takeoff checks.
Yep. So landing light off, fuel pump off, engines are green, and we don't have flaps.
Hello, Ryanair 88 November Lima descending 4,000 feet, direct oblique.
88 November Lima, Charles Hello, proceed direct REC P, descend to 3,000 feet, QNH 1027.
Is that is the wind information?
Yeah, REC P, and QNH 1027, right? 88
Pretty
November
much,
Lima.
yeah.
But 4 knots, that's not, it's helping a little bit, I guess, for the
angle.
Yeah. Okay, 2000. Was a bit late at stabilizing. reduce at 2,200. You see, I went up 100 feet too much. I'll reduce it more. So is there a visual point for Echo?
I don't know actually. I don't think so. I would head towards those 4 windmills that are a little bit alone in the distance.
Okay.
That seems to be more or less the right direction for Namur. And Echo is right on the border with Namur, so.
I guess Echo is a little bit more on the right?
Could be.
A little bit, I think so.
But on the charts, might be. Yes, it is. Point Echo.
Are those the 4? Oh.
Waypoint Echo Duke. And I can I do a direct too? Oh no, I can't. Preview.
I think there was a direct something.
Ah, here, direct to. Direct to Sierra Echo activates beings.
Okay. Back
So
in
now
2000s.
Now you have a highlighted line.
So that's what the...
That's what the purple line is, yeah.
Should we go there? No, we wait first.
You can go directly there.
November Lima, descend to 2,500 feet.
That's Echo? That's the Echo point or Namur?
Point Echo. Namur is in that direction as well.
2,500 feet clear for RMP approach 06, right, November Lima.
Alternatively, do you know how to set a direct to yourself?
I think it's, so it's this icon, but I guess you have to select.
Yeah, sure. If you want, I have controls.
Yeah.
And you can give me a direct to Namur, so you can use the top screen.
Okay. So this one is, let's see,
yeah.
EBNM, this one.
So you can either select it on the map, or you can just hit direct to anywhere. Yeah.
Because now it's selected, right?
True.
If I do direct, what does it do? EBNM.
So let's say you couldn't find it on the map. What you can do is...
Whiskey Hotel Yankee, airborne time 17, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, thank you.
I'll just set 118005, so it's ready for us. So you can click the direct to button.
So without anything
So let's say you don't know where to go, direct to. You click on the top line.
Yeah.
You insert EBNM. You might have to scroll across, I think. Yeah.
Also November India, left-hand base.
It's a weird interface, but okay.
EBNM, enter, Soirée.
Activates bottom right. Voila, beings draws you a line.
Okay.
Kinda nice.
My controls.
You have controls?
Hey, you got it down to 1900. We have to go back up.
Whoops. Alright, so next step, we can contact Namur.
Okay, so I guess it's the same idea. We first say hello and then wait.
Voila, so we hear nothing on the radio right now, so we can give them
okay. And what do we tell them after that? We do it in English?
Yeah, English, exactly. So you can say, so what are we doing? We're approaching from the west.
I've already put,
and our intentions are to join directly the right hand down. Oh no, it's a 06. So we'll join the left hand downwind runway 06. So we'll fly a little bit like this, join there, and back around.
So we go like this, like an S.
Here, check.
Okay. So I will not go directly, but
join the downwind, which is what they like, to join the downwind.
Let's stabilize it here first, and then I will call. Okay, and it's their call sign is Namur Radio. Okay. So I'll try it first. So Namur Radio, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, bonjour. I wait for the response. Then I tell them Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee is, well, I don't know how to say it, is coming from the west.
We can descend actually to 1,500 feet already.
1,500?
1,005, yeah. Because technically here we'd be entering Charleroi TMA, one of them, at 2,000. So as long as we're below 2,000, it's fine. Voila, so we're already below 2,000.
So Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee is arriving from the west. I don't know what to say actually.
Request landing information.
Request what?
Request landing information.
Okay, request landing information.
And then they will give you the QNH, the runway in use.
Radio, Oscar, November, Charlie, Charlie,
etc.
South of the airfield will be vertical in 2 minutes approximately to join
I see the airfield already.
left hand downwind for runway 06.
Hi, correct, runway 06 in use, QNH 1027.
QNH 1027.
I'll take over the radio.
Charlie, Charlie.
I'll let you join the circuit. So the circuit is, well, we're in the circuit actually. You can do a bit of left and back because we're in the middle of downwind. So. Nave radio, bonjour, Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
C'est fini là. Ok, super, je peux te vol.
Nave radio, bonjour, Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
Station calling Name radio, runway 06 in use and QNH 1027.
Runway 06 in use, QNH 1027, joining the beginning of left-hand downwind, runway 06. Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
We are at the beginning of the left-hand downwind, runway 06. We have you inside.
So now we can do U-turn. Yep. Copy to Oscar Armenia. Correction, Oscar Hotel Yankee. Okay, so you see this roundabout? You're gonna pass over it in that direction.
Okay.
So you can keep a tight turn if you want. Where are the others?
Here, we have the airport.
Ah, yes.
Just passing above you in your 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, sorry.
Inside, we follow behind you then, Oscar Hotel Yankee. Voilà. So 1,500 feet.
Okay, the roundabout, and we go to 240.
Number radio, Oscar Oscar, November Charlie Charlie, over the airfield 2,100 feet, joining
and
left
maintain
hand
1,500
runway
feet.
06.
We're going to be a bit close, right?
Yes, so if you want you can reduce already your speeds, you can put some flaps to help you do that.
Yeah. Let's do already, so landing lights, flaps 1 degree.
Oscar Hotel Yankee, do you have us inside, Oscar November India?
Affirm, Oscar Hotel Yankee, we're following you, slowing down to give you some space.
Thank you.
We fly at like 70.
That's good, yeah.
Yep.
They'll be around 75, 80.
We want to go a bit up, so I'll put a bit more.
We can do an orbit to the right.
Let's do that. Is there anyone else in the pattern? I don't think so, right?
No, not yet. Oscar Hotel Yankee, we perform 1 orbit to the right and left-hand downwind, 06.
And we are turning base, Oscar November India for the 06 right to Checo.
I'm looking behind, I see nobody. Alright. So, climb back to 1,500 feet.
November India, faut encore combien de Tango?
Encore 3 ou 4, Oscar November India, c'est bon pour vous?
Ah, parce que vous m'aviez dit 2 ou 3 en fait avant de partir, du coup, j'ai 2 autres avions en circuit.
Oups.
Bien, quand il y a un troisième avion qui sera dans le circuit, on quittera le circuit, ça vous va?
Ok, pas de soucis.
Voilà.
Okay, 1500.
So I'll let you do, sorry. My bad. So I'll let you do the rest of your downwind checks.
Yep. So landing lights on, fuel pump on, 1 degree as flaps, and everything is still in the green.
Check. Oh, we have an aircraft straight ahead.
Is he coming here? I think so,
I think best we avoid him. Oscar Hotel Yankee, we've got the Sonica inside, proceeding to rejoin behind. Voilà.
Number radio, Oscar Oscar, November Charlie Charlie,
right.
downwind, runway 06.
I think they were not paying attention to what we were doing, so.
I don't think I see the other one.
We
Did it
accommodate.
already touch or?
He's just touching down now, yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it moving, yep.
Alright. So today, nice exercise in looking out and the situation awareness.
the radio said there were...
Radio Oscar November Charlie Charlie, turning base runway 06.
Turning base, okay. I think that radio said there will be 3 airplanes.
Yes.
In addition to the one that was...
No, including him.
Okay.
So it's us 3.
Okay.
And he said he's leaving.
He's leaving.
Voila, so we have downwinds, the speed is okay, checks are completed. What's our next step?
So we'll be turning on base and putting a second degree of flaps.
Check.
Reducing to about 1700.
Alright.
And starting the descent. I will turn around this.
Here, yeah, exactly.
B4?
Normally it's B4, yes.
B4. I'll turn it already.
If we're at 1500 feet, we should be more than safe.
Now.
Yeah, we clear it, no problem. So it's the edge of this wood, actually, the base.
Yep. I'll go to 150.
Check. And we can begin a gentle descent.
Oscar November Charlie Charlie, final runway 06.
Your flaps.
Right. And if you want, you can already...
Very low, huh?
Yeah. If you want, you can already go flaps full so that it's done, and then you can focus on your approach, because it goes quite quickly in Namur. Alright, so here we're looking to do a touchdown and on the threshold, so the beginning of the tarmac, which means we'll have to aim a little bit before the tarmac. There's a bit of a horizontal dark green grass strip before the threshold. I find if you aim for that on your approach, it goes pretty well.
Where
he is now, yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So you start to flare over the grass and then you touch down on the tarmac. That is the ideal one, of course. If at any time you don't feel happy, we always perform a go around. No problem.
We search for like 65.
65 is a good approach speed, yeah. Oscar Hotel Yankee is final 06, right, touch and go. Alright.
Reduce it a little bit.
Check. You can aim just a little bit more before the runway. You really want to aim as if you're landing before the runway. Because typically then you will touch on the runway. After floating and stuff like that.
6.
Ah, that's perfect. Ideal. Yeah. Gentle flare. There's a bit of an upslope here. Wow. Perfect.
Okay, flaps down. Fuel pump on.
Full power. Off we go.
60?
60 knots, you can rotate. And here we'll maintain 65 for best angle. Or good angle at least.
I forgot to put the carb.
No worries.
Okay.
So here there is an intersection. Once we're past the intersection, and if we're happy with our altitude, that we're nice and clear of obstacles, we can begin a gentle left turn.
Yes, we can follow this one.
Exactly. You see that village on the left?
Yep.
We passed just to the right, so straight ahead is fine. There's like some fields between the two villages that we can pass over.
Yeah, I was thinking doing a little bit of a...
yeah, to avoid noise, sure. Yeah, why not?
So 65, let's go a bit more.
Takeoff altitude.
Okay. I'll have the other in sight, and I'll turn a bit to the right to not go on this village. 65 I'm going to look for. Is it 1600 the pattern altitude?
1500.
15?
Yes. I can set that for you. Ah, it's so cool to have the knobs now.
Okay. There. And I'm at 1500, so I'll do a little reduction here. And land light off, fuel pump off.
Namur Radio Oscar November Charlie Charlie,
downwind, runway 06.
So
I turn here already?
exactly.
Yep.
So around this little town, and then we follow the national roads from the roundabout to the windmill.
Yep, I see the roundabout.
So we were running out of runway. I gave full power.
Yeah. No, I knew
You were
I
looking
forgot
for the
some.
carburetor heat.
It was the carb heat, but I was like, oh, it's start, and so
it's already on.
Thank you
sorry,
for.
it's already off.
Thank you for helping me out with that.
No problem. If ever you're alone and you're not sure, just leave it at idle
Yep.
and stop the touch and go. Of course,
yep.
that's another good option.
Roundabouts, the plane is there.
Check.
I'll go for 240.
So, what is your next step?
So I'm going to do my downwind checks. I will do a carby check. 2200.
My mistake, you were right. It's 1,600 feet, the pattern.
Again?
You were right, the pattern is 1,600.
Okay.
Yeah, my mistake.
Carby off.
Oscar, November, Charlie, turning base.
We're good. So I'll go
Oscar, Italianski, yes, left hand downwind, 06 right, touch and go.
Back to 1600. He turned after the windmill.
Did he?
Should I go as well, so to leave him a bit of space, or?
No, it should be okay,
Yep.
yeah. Turn over the...
So let's do landing, fuel pump, we're maybe a bit fast, no, we're fine. 1 degree of flaps. Okay.
And we can turn here. Just on the edge of the wood. Perfect. Oscar Yankee, turning left hand base, 06 right, touch and go.
I'll reduce the power to 1700.
Better view.
Oscar, November, Charlie, final, runway 06.
It feels very high.
It does, yeah. We are high compared to Charleroi, but that's a good thing. It's good for noise, it's good for safety. If we lose our engine, we can make it.
We are going back to...
I'm going for the second flap.
Perfect, nice evening.
Maybe already the third one.
I would go already for full. Now we're coming quite high.
Turning.
But the advantage, so 3 degrees is something we use in the commercial aircraft, of course, but we have 2 engines.
Yeah.
So if we lose one, we can still keep 3 degrees. This is perfect for single engine. We're idle all the way in, so even if we lose our engine, maybe we have to bring in some flaps, but we make the runway.
We can reach it, yeah.
It's good for noise, it's good for safety.
500.
It's all advantages. Not everybody does it, but that's my 2 cents.
So I'll turn on the car beat this time.
Check.
When am I supposed to turn it on?
You can put it well here if you really want to go fast for the missed approach or for the touch and go. You can switch it back off on short final if you wish.
But when am I supposed to turn it on?
When you go below 1,500 RPM,
okay.
something like that. So it looks like we're ending up quite high.
Yeah, so I reduce.
So here I would put the carb heat off in preparation for the touch and go. Alright, flaps up and full power.
Oops. 60.
Check. And maintain 65 knots.
We're passing the highway. Start turning. We still have the other in sight.
Check.
Okay, landing light, fuel pump, flaps, and everything is still green, so that's good. Am I good here?
Yeah, indeed.
65.
And then once you're clear obstacles, you can go back to 70 if you like.
Okay.
So So the 65 is here for the closer to the VX, because we have power lines, stuff that we really don't want to hit. But as soon as we're 500 above ground, something like that, clear obstacles, then we can go back to VY, which will give us the shortest time until the altitude. Voilà. I would just add a little bit more rudder. As you see, the ball is not in the middle, and that gives you a nice best performance and the balanced flight.
Turn as well.
Oscar, Oscar, November, Charlie, Charlie, downwind.
A little bit high. Okay, so let's do. So we do a radio call to say we're downwind.
Sure, you could do it if you want.
That's good. Oscar, Oscar, Whiskey Hotel Yankee is downwind, runway 6.
All right,
So
good.
reduce the speed. We'll wait for the white arc.
Here you can trade speed for altitude if you want to go back to your 1600. A little bit of energy management.
So landing lights, fuel pump, and first degree of flaps. A bit more gas to go back.
Oscar, Oscar, November, Charlie, Charlie, turning base.
Bit low. But we're clear above the windmill.
Yes.
Okay, I will turn right now.
His circuit is quite wide.
Yeah. For second degree of flaps. I lost him. Do you see him? Oh yeah, no, here, just here. Okay. 100.
Oscar, Oscar, November, Charlie, Charlie, turning final.
Oscar to Yankee, base 06 right, touch and go. I would go flaps full and idle already, just to avoid being as high as last time.
Yep. I'll put some
Alright,
more.
back on profile, yeah, perfect. Well recovered. I'll give you a better view. Annoying that we have to open and close them all the time.
But it's a nice sun, so we're not going to complain, right?
Yeah, exactly. So here, in case he has a problem, and he's stuck on the runway, how do you perform a go-around?
Well, if he's going back up, I don't want to be on top of him.
Yes.
So I should.
So you do a side step to the right, you keep him on, because you want to see him.
I want to see him, yep.
So you side step to the right, and then that way you can keep your distance.
Carb heats.
Check. Oscar to Yankee, final 06 right, touch and go.
Going back up, yes, good. I'm a bit fast.
Voila, much better profile than the previous. Well done.
And Oscar Charlie Charlie will make a short circuit for touch and go on runway 06 left.
It's very short what they're doing.
Haha, yes.
Okay, we're past the highway. Let's turn. You have an idea why they do that?
It's probably an exercise.
Okay.
Short circuits.
Okay, let's go to 79 already, or do you want me to be past the village?
So there's just the power lines, but we're over them now, so we're good to go. You can accelerate. So there's some really tall power lines here.
Yeah.
As you can see.
Oscar November Charlie Charlie, turning short landing base for runway 06, Grasse.
Grasse, okay. So, landing lights, fuel pump, no flaps, and we're still green.
Confirm 06 Grasse? Affirmed 06 left, the Grasse runway, Oscar November Charlie Charlie.
Juste pour information, je connais pas l'état de la piste, si elle est praticable ou pas.
1600. Initiate
Roger,
the turn. Okay, 240. Okay, so landing lights. Should I do a radio call first?
Sure, yeah.
Is it the one that's not grass, is it 6 left?
06 right.
Right, okay. Because now I realize there's 2 and I've forgotten about that. 06 right. Okay. Oh, I'm too low, sorry.
Check.
Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee is left downwind runway 06 right.
So if you see a larger deviation from your altitude, don't be afraid to give a large correction.
Yep.
And not just, 100 RPM more or something. Okay. Correct, and then go back to straight and level. Because otherwise you're multitasking.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things you have to keep checking on rather than just...
And the change is slow, so
yeah,
it's
exactly.
Okay, so landing light on, fuel pump on, we're in the white arc, 1 degree of flaps, we're above the windmill.
And
so
the other traffic on downwind, what's your precise position on the downwind?
Oscar Hotel Yankee, we're turning end of downwind to left-hand base 06 right.
Roger, Oscar November Charlie Charlie, crossing the mid downwind inbound Jean Blue, climbing 1,900 feet.
We see him just behind the wing, slightly below horizon. Yeah.
So you just passed?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a bit not following along. Go for the 2nd degree of flaps, 1700, and the 3rd one as well.
Here I would go directly to idle. We are very high. We might even need to side slip. Have you side slipped yet?
No, I understand the idea, but I've not performed it, so...
Okay, I can show you that.
Yep.
So
please do.
I have controls.
You have?
So the idea of a side slip is, of course, you're going to turn in one way and give rudder on the other. Most important thing is to keep a speed high. So the reading is not so accurate. So I'm going to push left pedal, I'm going to give right rudder. Sorry, left pedal, right aileron. And I push to keep the speed high. I'm going to switch to the other side. So I'm going to give right rudder, left aileron. And you see our rate of descent gets quite strong. It's important to stay nice high speed, because then you keep the margin from the stall.
Okay.
So you have controls?
Yes, I do have it.
You can do a very gentle one if you like.
Maybe on the next one.
On the next one, yeah. We'll come high and do it again. And it just increases drag a lot, so you can descend quite quickly. Oscar Hotel Yankee, final 06 right, touch and go.
5 on the bit low, just on the numbers. Whoa, that's not good.
So if you feel it porpoising like that, don't hesitate to keep some back pressure to protect the nose wheel. Let it bounce on the main wheel. Otherwise, nicely done. Ah, very good, right rudder. It's amazing how this climbs in VX. Oh, it feels like it's quite the angle. Technically VX is 57, but
with a little
I don't
margin.
feel like going that low.
Yeah. So let's turn already here to...
Oscar Charlie, leaving your frequency, merci pour le service, au revoir. Bonne soirée, au revoir.
Okay, landing light, fuel pump, no flaps,
Takeoff
green.
altitude.
Power lines. Yeah, they're a bit lower. I'll go back to 79.
Check.
And turn to the right. The pattern already feels
more
better than the first time I came. First time was really like, oh, what am I doing? It's on the right, left. But
you're even going further than the pattern and actually avoiding slightly the houses.
Yeah,
because normally it's a straight line here, but you're being very considerate.
I see them and them, so I'll... Yeah.
If safety permits, why not?
Yep. 100. I already removed it, good. Roundabout. What did the other aircraft do? Is it that one that said leaving frequency?
Yeah, indeed.
They didn't like the grass strip.
I heard the tower tell them they didn't know what condition it was in, so
yeah, I heard that.
I think they landed on the hard runway in the end.
Okay, I'm still too high. Okay, now we go. Well, I wait for my airspeed, otherwise. Good. Landing. Fuel pump 1 degree of flaps.
And don't forget engine instruments and fuel to keep it in mind in the downwind.
Fuel, that's true. Let's change to the left one.
Voilà. Check. So we'll do one more touch and go.
Yep.
And then go back to Charleroi.
Good.
If that works for you.
Good. So let's announce. It's the right, 6 right.
Correct. 06 right.
Oscar Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee is on left downwind, runway 06 right.
And then to be even more perfect, because that was very good, you can even give your intentions. So either touch and go or full stop.
Okay, touch and go. Should I add it now or
no? It's okay.
No? Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But for the next time,
oh, makes sense.
Then it's textbook.
Thank you.
But yeah, you know what to say on the radio so far. There's no mistakes in what you were telling me. So I think just a bit more practice, kind of like learning a new language, right? You know what to say in theory, but you need to put it to practice.
And it's also the fact that we are speaking in English here with them makes it easier for me, because in French I was like a vent arrière. It's like, no, I don't know.
For sure.
I'll learn it, but
yeah, it's not necessary, I would say, to.
I do plan to fly in France, so
in the small airports, then you will need it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
even I struggle with the French terms. You learn them quite quickly, but.
And third.
So if you want to stay high a little bit, or we can practice side slipping later on the way back to Charleroi.
That would be, I would feel more.
So let's focus first on the approach then, and we'll ignore the side slip for now.
So carb heats.
Check.
On. Going down, not going up, so that's good.
I'll remove that for you.
Thank you.
500.
I see you looking around it. Just get rid of it if it's in your way.
Yep. Well, I think it was just at the right level, but it does.
It helps.
It's better also for looking out if somebody is.
Situational awareness, exactly. Oscar Hotel Yankee, final 06 right, touch and go.
Should we say it's our last one, or we just depart and then?
We will let them know we're leaving, and then that's it.
I actually like this airfield. It's more complex. You have to do a lot of things, but
True.
Keeps you easy.
It's both simple and more complex at the same time.
Yeah.
But especially more efficient in terms of movements.
Yep. 64.
So here, remember, protect the nose wheel in case of any bounces. There we go.
Carb heats. 60 up, a bit late. Okay, past the highway. But here. Light fuel pump, flaps green.
Takeoff altitude.
Go to 79. We don't see any other airplanes. So what's the call to say that we're leaving there frequent, or?
I would say Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, leaving the circuit via the north and leaving the frequency. Thanks for the service. Bye. Something like that.
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, leaving the circuit via the north, leaving the frequency. Thank you for the service.
And they might reply, they might not. Who knows? Alright, I'm gonna listen to the ATIS.
And 070
I'm hoping
degrees,
they switched runways.
5 knots.
That would be cool.
Cov OK. Temperature 8.
Then we can ask for a straight in.
-1.
Back to 2000?
I think 1,700 is fine.
Confirm information. Uniform on first contact. Shuttler 1 information uniform 1650. Expect vectoring for RNP approach.
06.
Runway 06 for arrivals and departures. Runway surface condition at 1430. Dry. Runway condition code 666.
We can rejoin via the south.
Transition level 55.
I'll teach you the visual pattern so we can continue parallel to the downwinds.
Cov OK.
And then I don't know if you see, but from the end of downwind, you go to that first field of windmills over there. There's a field over there.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Because I see them some there. Okay, this one. So
Yeah.
that direction?
So from the end of downwind towards those windmills, that will take you on the right direction back to Charleroi.
So do I first like pass the windmill and then?
Yeah.
I don't like.
Indeed. So to not interfere. In theory, if there's airplanes on downwind, you don't want to interfere with them.
Sure.
You can already climb to 1,800 feet, for example. That'll give you a slightly different altitude than the circuit.
Yep.
Reduces chances of mid-airs and stuff like that.
It's already getting dark, huh?
Yeah, indeed, a little bit. Indeed.
Okay.
So you've got this first field of windmills, and a little bit farther, once we're over those, we go to the next field.
Yeah, I see it.
And that brings us kind of almost perfectly around the
CTR.
and then brings us to point Sierra Echo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're almost.
Yeah,
Almost
it's this little channel between the two forests is kind of the valley between the two between the two zones.
Yeah.
If it helps, you can put an altitude bug on the altitude you want to keep. Voila. So, have you ever leaned the aircraft before?
I have heard the theory about it, but I have not performed it.
So, there's two ways.
Yep.
One is with this complicated machine.
Yep.
The other one is the more traditional one that works on everything. You reduce the mixture until the RPM starts reducing.
Yep.
And then you just add it again until you're back to the peak RPM. So we're looking for getting back to 2000, yeah, something like that.
Yep.
And then that's more or less leaned 90% of the way there.
Yep.
So you can give that a try.
So let me first go back to 1800.
Yeah. Sure.
Looking at it, we went down.
I don't know what lean assist does. Oh.
Okay. I'll set at 2400 here. I'll trim a bit too. Okay.
Starting to lose, so you just put back enough fuel for it to be happy. And as a result, of course, the cylinder head temperatures rise.
This should be a good, but...
Yeah, so it's always better to add a little bit too much fuel than a little bit not enough. Voila. And that'll bring the cylinder head temperatures back down.
Okay.
Voila, so they're happy. So you got peak cylinder head temperature, which means peak combustion.
Yep.
Best, most efficient combustion.
We're about
next windmills. Here we can climb to 2,000 feet because we're out from under the little TMA. So when we climb, we go back to full rich mixture, and that'll keep the cylinders happy.
Yeah, indeed.
How does this work, I wonder? Yeah, it does. So you just click to select the current altitude.
Why does this one become, because we are full rich?
Probably because we have a bit too much power at the moment for Australian level. Okay. Even though the RPM is in the green, you know, it's been working hard, lots of takeoffs and landings. So.
Okay, should I lean it again?
Yeah, sure. Good practice.
Check 2000s, so a bit of trim like this, okay. Like this. One green. Maybe a little more. A little bit more. Yep. Voila. That's happy. Good. Right. Okay. Well, thank you for.
So that's normally you don't have the flashing cylinder head temperatures and stuff like that. But in that case, you can be safe side and add a little bit more mixture than you think it needs. But that's it. All right, approaching Sierra Echo. I'm going to listen to the ATIS.
Expect vectoring for RNP approach. Runway 06 for arrivals and departures. Runway surface condition.
Caution,
at
obstacle
1430,
ahead.
dry. Runway condition code 666. Transition level 55. Wind 070 degrees, 5 knots.
Put a map over here.
Okay. Temperature 8. Dew point -1. QNH 1027. No signal.
1027.
Confirm information. Uniform.
Uniform. Alright.
Should I switch the tanks? We
We're
were a bit more on the left one, huh?
We're a bit more on the left, so we can leave it on the left now. I'll go ahead and call Charleroi.
Yep.
Landing instruction.
Oscar Charlie, information uniform, runway 06, QNH 1027, report entering the zone.
Report entering the zone, Oscar, November, Charlie.
What was the
Alpha Fox 2500 feet, clear for approach and the maximum speed possible.
Should I go a bit more?
You can fly to Sierra Echo.
And I take Mike.
You could just turn right 90
turn
degrees.
left, heading 260, speed 210.
Ah, yeah, voilà.
Left heading 260 degrees, speed 210, not trying 8 Echo Mike.
Charlotte Tower, hello, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
Good you.
Bonsoir, Ryanair 8 Golf Whiskey, ready in sequence.
Ryanair 34 X-ray Kilo, wind 350 degrees, 5 knots, runway 06, clear for takeoff.
Runway 06, clear for takeoff, Ryanair 34 X-ray Kilo.
Ryanair 34 November Delta, Brussels departure 126.630, au revoir.
We cannot enter until they get us.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryanair 8 Echo Mike, descent to 4,000 feet, QNH 1027.
Descent to 4,000 feet and QNH 1027, Ryanair 8 Echo Mike.
Charlotte Tower, hello, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
Oscar Hotel Yankee, call me back in 10 minutes.
10 minutes, copied, Oscar Hotel Yankee. Bon.
Ryanair 8 Golf Whiskey, bonsoir, ready in
We're
sequence.
stuck. Should I go left?
Yeah, we
Ryanair
can turn left.
8527,
Or we can do the exercise with the step.
Sure.
6 clear to land.
Let's do that. 10 minutes, wow.
That's
Ryanair 8 Golf Whiskey Company traffic short final inside.
Inside, Ryanair 8 Golf Whiskey.
Golf Whiskey behind landing 737 and open weight runway 06 behind.
Just gonna take the next students.
Behind Ryanair 8 Golf Whiskey.
Ryanair 8 Echo Mike, 10 degrees to the left.
10 degrees to the left, Ryanair 8
we are in the traffic jam.
Ryanair 34 X-ray Kilo, Brussels departure 126630.
12660, Ryanair 34, X-ray Kilo, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bonsoir, Shuttle Ryanair 9 Quebec X-ray, ready in sequence at November Bravo.
I will switch to the left tank because it says the right is a little bit lower than.
So we are on the left.
Oh, we are left. Okay, that's good. Then we stay on the left one.
Okay.
Okay, so
let's see.
Can we perform this while we're in the white, or?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay.
You can perform it at any speed. So I'm going to go back to mixture rich. I'm going to put fuel pump on.
Yep.
Just for some exercises.
Could we turn a little bit?
Turn a bit that way, yeah. So Florence CTR is the circle plus the dashed area. So as long as we're diagonally something to the right. Or we can do a 180, go back that direction. Yeah, let's head back towards those windmills on the left behind us.
We will not get in, right?
No, that's okay. So it's this, the circular one to avoid, with the two edges.
Okay.
Put it here, I wonder, yeah, voila.
Ryanair 8 Echo Mike,
easier on the eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as we stay out of that red, we're okay. So first thing I want to do is a little bit stick and rudder training together. So as you know, effects of controls, if we use ailerons without rudder, the nose has a tendency to swing. I've noticed that you don't use your rudder while you use your ailerons. Yes, during takeoff and things like that it's good. So I have controls. So you see, if I give ailerons, the nose is swinging left and right. Now the exercise I want you to do is this one, where you keep your feet on the rudder and on the control column, and you see the nose is not moving if I give rudder and ailerons. And this is, we're not swinging in our seats, and if you confirm, the ball will stay in the middle as well.
It does.
But you feel it more and you see it outside, because the nose doesn't swing.
And
so
it's the same feet as the direction where you're turning.
So they move together, it's like they're linked. So give that a try, play a little bit left and right.
I have controls.
You have controls? So give that a feel. And the idea is you should be able to turn left and right, and the nose stays on the same windmill more or less.
That was not the case.
Wait. I will first do it without, just to see.
Just play as much as you want. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Let me just check quick.
Everything is safe.
Yeah. Okay, so if I turn.
Voila. A little bit more left rudder there. I didn't feel it anything.
No, I didn't. I was trying without.
Oh, you're doing without. Yeah. So if you do it gently without, typically you get away with it okay.
Can I do it a bit more?
But if you're
without, just to see.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the nose swings way to the right. And then you'll feel, if you use the rudder, the plane responds to you much better. And the good thing about having the habit of using them together is that you will always fly balanced, and if ever you accidentally end up in a stall, you are in a balanced turn, and you will never spin. You'll just do a normal stall, and you'd recover.
I understand the theory, but I don't feel it yet.
So just keep playing as much as you want until you feel. And the idea is you should feel your seat's not moving anymore. That looks good. The nose is not moving on the horizon. There we had a bit of... Just keep playing.
We line up await runway 06 behind, landing traffic on 9 Quebec X-ray.
And then it's easy to remember when the workload is low, but the idea of this exercise is just really to play and help to try and start to become more automatic.
Are we not going to get into any...
So far we're safe. We have around 2.5 miles on each side. We're out of control zones. So. Yeah, that feels good.
Caution, obstacle ahead.
And it's really not like one follows the other, it's together.
Yep.
It flows nicely. You feel the plane listens to you, it turns more easily.
And once you're like stabilized in a turn, you don't fly anymore, right?
Exactly, yeah. Maybe you just need a tiny bit, depending on what the ball tells you, but typically it's when the ailerons come back to neutral, the rudder comes back to neutral. It's really like they're linked. Funny enough, original planes, like way back, they didn't have ailerons. So they just had a lot of dihedral, so they were stable, and you would turn with the rudder only. Like ailerons came later to make turns faster. And then eventually pilots forgot to use the rudder. But it used to be you use your rudder for turns. And it's still very much the case, it's half of the equation.
Yeah. It's funny, I see it, I feel it better now on the right, turning to the right, the ball stays, but on the left...
Yeah, and then of course, at 100 knots, the amount of rudder you need to give will be different than at 70 knots or 80 knots. But then you feel it immediately in your seats. Now that you see how it feels, you're playing, you can go back and whenever you're doing it at any speed, it should feel the same, that the plane is answering to you correctly and that in your seat you're not shifting left and right. It also helps, I know when I was first learning, I was always very stiff in my seat, but if you sit relaxed then you feel it even more when you're leaning.
Okay.
And so it's, yeah. You do it very well already.
It's true that I was not using it.
No, not at all, because you were focused on other things.
Yeah.
It was never drilled into that, you know, automatic, subconscious, etc. So from now on, anytime that we fly, in order to remind you if you're not doing it, I'm going to say stick and rudder. That means use them both together.
Good.
So if we're in the downwind or on the approach or whatever, I'll just say stick and rudder, and you'll be like, ah, yes.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
But I went 160 hours before ever doing this, by the way. It was only during my flight instructor training where somebody finally decided to say, stick and rudder, stick and rudder, stick and rudder, stick and rudder.
So you have it in your head.
And it really works better.
Should we turn around already?
We can turn around, yeah, it's been 7 minutes, so we can do a 180 back towards the sun. And then, yeah, eventually you don't even need to look at the ball anymore. You just see what is the nose doing? Is it swinging? Is it not swinging? The only time I look at the ball is during takeoff, because then you know how much rudder to give. It's a bit more difficult to tell.
9 Quebec X-ray, Brussels departure, 126.630, au revoir.
126.630, 9 Quebec X-ray, bonsoir.
Wow. Maybe it doesn't help you because you're a bit late, but I appreciated this extra exercise.
It's always very useful. I can keep going while we go there, although now you don't see outside as much, but that might help you feel it.
Yeah, the feeling. Just want to make sure that we have no problem with the windmills, with 2,000.
500 clear for the RMP approach, runway 06, Ryanair 446 Juliet.
That's fantastic. And then of course you can increase your rate of roll to make it a bit more...
Yeah.
You can take...
That's exactly what I was thinking about now.
Doing it slowly is very easy.
I thought I'll wait after the
windmills, exactly.
Well, go a bit left of the windmills.
Check.
Oscar Charlie, expect to rejoin after the 2 next landings.
I think someone's doing orbits in the downwind there.
Okay, Echo Mike, next to the left, November 6 and ground 12185, au revoir.
November 6, 12185.
So here the ball is already a little bit on the right, right? Is it something we should...
Eventually you can use rudder trim to compensate, yeah. If this is the speed at which you are cruising, you want to cruise for a long time at this speed, then I would play with the ball, play with the rudder trim to get the ball back in the middle.
Because that depends also on the winds and...
no, it depends on your speed. Yeah. So the rudder has a certain amount of offsets and the propeller, and so at a certain speed it'll be calibrated, kind of like you trim for a different speed. The rudder trim also applies for a different speed.
Restricted area.
Exactly 10 minutes later. Shall I tell Oscar?
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee on this?
Oscar Hotel Yankee, go ahead.
Proceed. Report entering the zone, KNH 1027, runway 06 in use.
Report entering the zone, runway 06 in use, KNH 1027, request Sierra Echo, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
Approve Sierra Echo, Sierra Alpha, right hand downwind 06.
Sierra Echo, Sierra Alpha, right hand downwind 06, Oscar Hotel Yankee. Voila.
NR73 Romeo, Quebec, cool. Heading 260.
She called us back. I'm sure she had a timer as well.
Some kind of timer, yeah. She probably has like some kind of screen with the names. She said like this one, 10 minutes, and then it was starting to flash. Or
2737 on final.
This is the runway, right?
Proceed for one more 360 to the
I think that's a bit too close.
Yeah?
Might be further away. Because this is not even in the zone yet.
And it's not flashing, so...
Yeah. It does invite you to think that. I can see why you would think so.
And expect a light traffic north of the axis on downwind.
Roger, 446 Juliet.
A light traffic. Alright. I'll put the fuel pump off.
I know you're already quite used to it, but I really enjoy this.
Oh, I love it. I still enjoy it as it's fantastic. This is not what airline flying is like at all. At all. We just follow prescribed routes. We program computers and we communicate with air traffic control and manage the airplane. But real flying is this. This is real flying.
More manual.
Yeah.
So what did they say? Sierra Echo, Sierra Alpha?
Yeah. Possible next November 5?
Where is that?
November 5, you can use it on that map as well. You can just barely see it there. ABC is...
Oscar November Charlie.
And it's over there. There's a big white Cora.
Yep,
Traffic inside, Oscar November Charlie.
Kind of the last white building.
Charlie, get the position behind, caution with turbulence, medium category.
This one is, if I want, how did you draw it?
Position behind,
I don't know.
Oscar Charlie.
It showed up.
Oh, that was you who did that with the director.
By this one, it shows it here?
Yep.
Okay. So let's see.
46 Romeo uniform.
I think from the top screen.
446
If you hit back, it goes to your aircraft. There you go.
Clear to land.
06 Ryanair 446 Juliet.
Sierra Alpha.
Ryanair 43 Romeo, Quebec, descend to 3,000 feet.
Where's
to
this
3,000 feet,
one?
73 Romeo, Quebec.
Direct.
Correct, and to adjust the track 5 degrees to the left.
Oh yeah, indeed. Okay, good.
5 degrees to the left for 73 Romeo, Quebec.
Correct.
Ah, yeah, and he went away from track up. There we go. Is that what he does? Yeah, there we go. And then visually, it's that Cora right there. And so, Cora And then once we're at Sierra Alpha, we may descend to 1,500 feet, and we join the right-hand downwind, 06 right. And then if we hear nothing from them, we will report ready to turn base.
Good, because this is the hospital, right? So Cora, is it this one here or?
This is the Cora actually. I've been told.
This looks like a hospital.
It does. Everyone calls it a Cora apparently. But anyway, it's this building, this big white one next to the intersection.
Okay.
That's Sierra Alpha.
Good. I'll already reduce a little bit the speed.
Sure.
Tower, hello, Renaissance Whiskey, November, we're fully ready for departure.
Ryanair 77 Whiskey, November, hello, light traffic on short final, call you back.
Short final.
Copy it, Sansa Whiskey, November, holding short of...
we see the runway over there.
Ryanair 446 Juliet, if possible, next to the left, November 5, and non-vacating, ground 12805, bye.
I think the Cora is what I'm just above now, next to the supermarket.
Okay. So that is a hospital then, I guess.
But it's easier to see that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess it depends on where you're coming from.
November 12,
So
Charlie, wind
now we can rejoin the downwind.
5 knots, runway 06, clear to land.
So now I'm confused, what are we?
So we're landing in that direction. We're going to join the downwind like that.
So we do an S like this?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
77 Whiskey, November, you have a traffic on short final in sight?
I firm traffic inside, Whiskey, November.
Roger, behind landing light traffic, line up and wait,
Do we start 1500?
You can descend to 1500.
Runway 06 behind, Whiskey, November.
You can set the bug if you want.
Whiskey Hotel Yankee, join directed to right and base runway 06. Expect one departing 737 ahead.
Join directly right hand base 06, copied Oscar Hotel Yankee. Voila, so we join the base directly. Change of plans. You see what that means?
Ryanair 73 Quebec, turn right heading 0900.
So the end of the runway is there. So we go somewhere in that direction. I'll let you do your downwind preparation then.
So landing fuel, we're still a bit too high speed.
Okay. And I'll put your bug at 1.
Confirm heading 090.
So where do I head?
2900.
So the threshold is well, the end of the runway.
I see it. So should I go directly there?
So position on downwind.
Approach runway 06, descent 2005.
So try to visualize what your downwind, what your what your base would be.
Oscar Charlie, next to the right, Sierra 3.
So this is
monitor the ground 11805.
positioning yourself according to the runway, which is very useful skill, because no matter where you go, you can...
Just my base, I expect it to do a bit, not directly on the threshold, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Ryanair 77 Whiskey, November, wind 070 degrees 5 knots,
turn after, just after this tower.
I think you can turn in the next few seconds. Yeah. So he's just been cleared for takeoff.
We'll land after him.
Voila.
Caution with wake turbulence, so that we don't...
Yankee, turn base.
Turning base, Oscar Hotel Yankee.
So we, in case of a missed approach, we need to turn left or right to avoid his wake.
Yeah. Okay, second degrees of flaps.
Very good observation.
And third one as well. Reduce.
So
arm heats.
Check. So just so you know, flaps full normally is on final, but you can choose to do it earlier. Yep. That way it reduces your workload later. But it's a choice.
Okay.
And the procedure is technically it's on final. So don't forget stick and rudder. Anticipating already that you will forget. Very nice. Fantastic. I'll get rid of it.
500.
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, wind 070 degrees 4 knots, runway 06, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 06. Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
Perfect.
A bit high.
Check.
Ryanair 77 Whiskey November, contact Brussels departure 126.630, au revoir.
126.630 and
very nice stick and rudder. Very nicely done.
Delta 70 Romeo Quebec.
Roger, preceding traffic on short panel.
Fantastic job.
Thank you.
70 Romeo Quebec.
Sit at Sierra 3 it is, I guess?
Sierra 3 will do it, yeah.
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee next to the right Sierra 3 and contact ground 121.805. Bye bye.
Exit at Sierra 3, contact ground 121.805. Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, thank you.
Perfect.
Firemen are coming out.
Ryanair 73 Romeo Quebec, wind 070 degrees 5 knots, runway 06, clear to land.
So, what do I do? Do I pass?
So you stop after the line, yeah. Because we need to vacate the runway.
He's supposed to wait on us?
Maybe. So we'll just stop very close to the runway, but just across the line, and that way he can still pass. And then we contact the ground.
So, no, that's 121.805. Did they say monitor or?
Contact.
And I say we're at Sierra 3.
Sierra 3 runway vacated.
Carbon. Charleroi ground, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee is at Sierra 3.
Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee, Charleroi, good evening, taxi approved.
Taxi approved, Oscar Whiskey Hotel Yankee.
Alright.
Should I do my down?
You can do the after landing checklist, yeah.
I think it's basically this, fuel pump off, flaps off.
And the PJ as well.
I would have forgotten it.
Yep. It's true at the beginning, it is part of the checklist, but since we never use it, we have a habit of not go left.
You want to park it here or?
No,
you have fuel, right?
Over there.
Okay. I was happy.
It was a nice flight, well done. Very complex Namur environment.
Yeah, but I like this aspect of lots of things to do. And I already feel better than the first time, so that's even if the...
That's good. That's good.
Park at the same spot?
Yes, we can park that one, indeed.
I guess it's this line here.
November X, request taxi.
Ryanair for November X-ray taxi via Mike 5 and November to landing point November Bravo, runway 06, QNH 1027.
Taxi Mike 5 via November Bravo,
nobody walking around.
QNH 1027, 94 November.
The last one?
Last one is good, yes.
Ground Ryanair 73 Romeo Quebec, November 6.
Bonsoir Ryanair 73 Romeo Quebec, Charleroi ground, taxi via Mike 6 and hotel to stand 62.
Mike 6 hotel to stand 62 Ryanair 73 Romeo Quebec.
Okay. Transponder. Okay, shut down. Parking brake set. Throttle 1200. That's good. Lights off except strobe. Lights landing. Radio master off. of my